for 2 hours. Okay. All right. Our producer's in our ear right now saying, "Let's hurry up." Excuse me. Yes. Excuse me. We have till 7:10. It's 7:09. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, our first guest on the Pink Clubhouse today, we have an actress, personality, host, writer, and the editor of Sheen magazine. Britni Moore, also known as Britni The Brand, is coming up right now. I should usually hit that. But you know when I let them come in the room first, then they start talking, and then I can't do my show. Oh, she probably.
Welcome.
Well, hello.
You showed up.
How are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Good.
Okay.
Y'all so cute. I've been watching y'all talk. Y'all so cute.
Thank you. And in the
Y'all so cute.
John telling us 7:10 p.m. Okay, thank you. But
Period.
Welcome, Britni. How are you? How's your weekend?
My weekend was great, honey. I was working, but it was great. I've been loving all of the Beyonce. Just Beyonce in my city. I can't ask for nothing else. The vibe is crazy. I went actually and saw her in London, so I didn't go this weekend. But everybody being on their Beyonce party-ish is beautiful to me.
Right, and it was around the entire city of Atlanta. Everywhere you went was Beyonce. Miami. The staff on the flight, they were like, "Oh, we're going to BTL," and I was like, "BTL? Where the hell am I going?" But he was like, "Beyonce, Atlanta, but whatever."
Yeah.
So, Britni, because we get to know you, okay, in the Pink Club, I like to get to know our people. Just to get to know, can you tell us a little about yourself, your journey? You have a magazine. You're an entrepreneur. Tell us how you got to this.
Well, I've been working in media for about 10 years. I started out at Fort Valley State University, the Fort Valley State University, turning up, doing my thing as far as like the radio and mass media and with choir and doing a lot of extracurricular activities. And then I started an internship with Streets 94.5 when I moved back home to Atlanta. Then I was kind of fast-tracked as a contributor for Sheen magazine. So I was a contributor for them for 4 years before I was promoted to editor. I started my own series. I started my own collections of products and projects. Then I started doing like my brunches for young women in Atlanta to network people who wouldn't typically be in the rooms with those people. I wanted to put them in those rooms. So that has been a driving force for me. So I've been able to connect brands like Bel Air, Sheen, Fox, with people who are literally just trying to figure out what they want to do with life. And that is like the biggest deal in the world to me. Right. And so now this year I'm actually focusing more on my career outside of Sheen so that I can get my book published, so that I can bring more female empowerment products together and projects. And it's been a blessing.
You're doing it. Go ahead.
You've been doing it for years. Like, I truly, truly admire you. We have spoke behind the scenes. And for years and years, you've just been like a trailblazer. So much like Ebony, Jet, and Essence, Sheen magazine highlights the beauty of Black women and gives a voice and serves as a guide. How has working for Sheen magazine influenced you, and how important is it to the community?
Sheen magazine has literally shown me the power of saying, fuck it, I'll do it myself. And that's really what has driven me to stay, what's driven me to succeed with them, is that when you have a team of Black talented people who one person has the finances, one person has the spiritual guidance, one person has the legalities down, one person has the product knowledge, you can literally accomplish anything. And I think what drives me to be not only an entrepreneur, but to have people that look like me in the spaces I'm in, is that we think so many times that we need people who don't look like us to get in those rooms. And when I have somebody like Sheen magazine producing the awards, producing the products, producing the positions, creating job content, creating all of these opportunities, it literally only motivated me to say, I don't need to ask anybody outside of my wheelhouse of people. Granted, you don't want slow people or slow workers. So sometimes you got to go out and outsource to things that, to people that you would normally have a relationship with, i.e. everybody can't be your cousin. But at the end of the day, there are people out here that look just like us that just need an opportunity.
Yeah.
There are people who just need an interview. They just need a conversation. Right. I tell people, don't ever come anywhere empty-handed and expect to be granted something because of, just who you are. If you do need that 60-second elevator speech with Jay-Z, you better have a demo. You better have your card. You better have something on hand. But with Sheen, it really taught me, because we weren't awarded a lot of things. There were a lot of things that we really had to do those extra steps for, that was just like, dang, why do we get taken through the ringer? Why are we always the end of the red carpet? Why do the PR try to pass over the black correspondents? And then we just said, we'll just we'll just build the carpet. We'll just build the door. We'll just do these things ourselves. And over time, the traffic will build. If you build it, they will come. You know what I'm saying? So literally what we're doing is saying, come to us, be here, trust us, bring your talents to South Beach. You know what I'm saying? And we'll take care of the rest. So I'm just honored to be a part of a company that thinks like that.
Right. It's kind of like the Avengers assembling, like, how you were saying, how you bring something different to the table. And you do need that. You can't always have the same people.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that. But per your IG back in 2020, you made a post stating that you led a life of clouded judgment that almost ruined your career. Could you tell us about that?
So when it comes to trying to balance the personal with the business life, there's so many times that when you have, friends that do not work in the industry, they do not work in entertainment, they look at that like, oh, I can do that. Mm-hmm. That's easy. I can start, the Pink Clubhouse and bring guests on and talk to them and ask questions, but they don't know.
We're doing that, by the way.
They don't know the history. They don't know what it takes for you to be able to go and do research on me, to ask good questions. They don't know what it takes to get sponsorships. They don't know what it takes to be an entrepreneur in any way or shape or form. So when it comes to the life of clouded judgment, I let a lot of people, in my ear and in my space. I'm a Libra, so I try to see the both sides of everything constantly. And sometimes you can't afford to see both sides. Sometimes you got to be one-sided. Sometimes you got to say, no, this is what I'm doing and this is what I'm going to do, even against your own detriment, to be able to get to the end result of something. And back at that point, there were so many things that I just felt like, damn, like, am I doing this for me, or am I doing this so I don't disappoint the people around me that are not judge, jury, or executioner to my success? Am I trying to appease people that will never pay a bill, that will never sign a contract, that will never open a door for me? And that's when I had to say, you know what? I'm going to take my breaks. I'm going to sit down when I need to.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on vacation. But I'm going to work my ass off, because only I am the one that's going to come to Britni and say, hey, whatever happened with that book? Whatever happened with that project? People might consider you, but they are not bothered or fazed by the unproductivity of you and what you put out. If you never put out the Pink Clubhouse, nobody is going to sue you. Nobody's going to find you. It's got to be your dream. It's got to be your advice. It's got to be your motivation for yourself. And that's the only thing that keeps you going.
Speak on it. Like Candy. Speak on it.
Literally. That's literally all you can do, is be your own driving force. And when you're tired, you rest. And when you're awake, you work. And as long as you keep yourself in that, cycle, then it doesn't matter what anybody is saying to you.
Right. And you got to really do it for you, like you said. Like, especially with wondering about what people are thinking, how you're doing it and all that. If you let that get into it, and that's not something that's you have to unlearn that, but that takes time. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of us growing up, we've always had opinions on us. I know I have. And you have to really and truly unlearn to block that, or, block it with a steel chair. How to get that away from you. So, yeah, I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
just feeding us this evening. Like, literally, we should have bought tambourines for this show because literally we need them. So you have interviewed stars like Coco, Jones, Lamar Odom, Dondria, and that's just to name a few. Is there a particular interview that you've done this far that sticks out in your mind the most, and why?
I'd probably go with Jennifer Hudson because I literally have been such a fan. I have watched her journey. I've been told I look like her. I've been literally told constantly, you look like Dream Girls, Jennifer Hudson, that girl. So when we met, I told her, I was like, I've been told I'm your doppelganger, and it's so nice to meet you. But specifically in that interview, I asked her a question, just like you did, about some research that I'd done on her that no one had ever asked her before. And she was so taken back. And I was sitting at a table. It was 4 journalists, 1 table for the Respect premiere. And I told her, in I believe 2010 or maybe 2009, she said that she believed that her voice was like a tree with many branches. She can go any kind of way. And I referenced that and let her know that her voice showing in this season with Respect is like a forest with many trees. We don't know where you're going to go. And she's sitting there like just shook. She's literally shook. She cannot move. She's telling her publicist, write that down. Like, I need to use that again. And that's the power of my job, right? Is when people say, good question, or wow, I never thought of that, or man, God, Lee, you caught me off guard. That's what I want as a journalist. I don't want people to recite their answers. I need them to look at their publicist every time, like, should I answer this? Because I wasn't prepared. Like, that's, as a journalist, that's being a real journalist. And everybody can't do your job. And literally just telling y'all, seeding into y'all, like, as long as y'all are on your A game and you know that it's not about the lights, the cameras, or the action, y'all gonna succeed because y'all do your job and you're professional and you do it very well. But it's literally just like those types of things, and people like Jennifer Hudson saying those things to me, or anybody saying those things to me and listening to what I have to say. Those are my best interviews.
Right. But is it really a job to you? Because you continuously say a job, but I feel like it's literally pouring from your soul, and it's like it's a continuous passion project for you to do the work that you're doing. Because literally, like, you, I feel like a job you just show up to. This one you walk with, and you move with, and I can definitely see your energy being important to all that you do, and it's a beautiful, pure energy.
Thank you. It's a job. Like, it's a job because at the end of the day, when y'all see me, when I make my way to Instagram, you have seen a cleaned version of myself. You have seen a relaxed, rested version of myself. I post when I'm on vacation, when I go out to eat. But what you don't see are those late night 2 a.m. calls of a journalist who tried to get on the red carpet at the BET Awards, and they try to turn them away because of some COVID protocol that they know nothing about before they pulled up. Or you have somebody who traveled, but their room reservations aren't going through properly, and da-da-da-da. It is not all sweet. Even as the journalist myself, and literally being in these spaces as a Black woman, and they look at me like, oh, our clients already talked to 10 of the highest media outlets today, and I'm literally just the 11th. Those things are a job. Those things are what create work for a person, that takes you out of dreamland, that reminds you that this is not sweet. And if you succeed, everyone succeeds. And if you fail, everyone fails. That's what makes it a job. So it literally, you know what I'm saying? So I'm always brought back to reality. I believe in the Lord. I praise my successes and I give them back to God. But I do understand that I have a mission. And with journalism, it is still you telling truth or you telling lies. So you still have to be very careful and very conscious of the information that you put out. into the world, right? And the information that you put on others. I've been offered gigs from several blog spots, but is that the energy that I want to put into the world? Is that the job that I want to take on? Is that the career asset that I want to have? Is that the legacy I want to leave? Those are the questions that make it a job. Do I enjoy it? Is it the career that I chose and I'm sticking with? Absolutely. But it's not just about me, and I got to do my job so everybody else can do theirs.
That I want you to. Look. We have this on. We're gonna have this on this interview on YouTube tomorrow. But people really got to know that these kind of things. This is a job. It's not no kind of just show up. Oh la 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 la. No, we take time and we pour it. That's how you pour it out. Is by actually doing the craft and sticking to the craft and showing up for your coworkers. So I'm happy you said that because look, when I say it, it's like people are complaining. But
you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So look, let me ask you, because anyone who's successful in the realm of entertainment has had at least one or two obstacles that they've had to overcome while trying to make it. What are some obstacles you've had to jump over, and what did they teach you? One or two. Tell us, if you can.
One, money. When you broke, you don't want to be productive. It is what it is. When you broke, you're not inspired. When you're broke, you're not creative. And in a world of art, media, creativity, it's not always paydays. You know what I'm saying? That is a huge obstacle. That is a real grown woman, grown man obstacle.
Yeah.
When you can't pay your bills, but you're obligated to passion projects, right? I'm in a relationship now, but even being as a single woman, you see your friends, you see our classmates who have 2-parent households. They both work in, finance or State Farm or something solid. You know what I'm saying? And they both can travel and they can do the things and they don't worry about a bill. That's hard. It's hard to see people travel and not worry about money and do the things while you're doing all of the glamorized projects, right? But that's been probably one of my largest obstacles is remembering what I did it for. Because it's literally just making sure that I keep my eye on the prize, money or not, because the money will come. I have not, as far as I'm concerned, I have not had a struggle day. Even if when I didn't have the money that I deserved or the money that I wanted, I did not struggle. I got through it. I don't survive, I thrive every day. But when it comes to the projects and the passions and the things that just aren't, that is glamorous on social media, but you be back here trying to figure it out, you got to really love it. You got to really love it. And that's probably one of the biggest struggles or obstacles I've had is just making it make sense, on the back end while I'm promoting content on the front end. But it always worked out.
They say that to be a professional, you have to do like 10,000 hours. So that makes a lot of sense what you're saying. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, Britni, it's not only your name, but it's also your brand. When people hear or see Britni the Brand, what do you want them to take away exactly?
I have many passions. I have many talents. I know that about myself. It's not in a cocky way. I'm blessed. And just all of us on this live, we just came out like this. Okay, this is how we turned up. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody ain't able. But in the brand comes a lot of responsibility. Are you a journalist? Are you an entrepreneur? Are you an editor? Are you a singer? Are you an actress? Yes. The answer is yes.
Yes.
The answer will always be yes. And I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it well. And I'm not going to half-ass, and I'm not going to bring you anything that's not proper or clean or anything. I'm going to do what God called me here to do, which is to be my best version of myself. And in that, I've been able to profit.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Right.
But the brand is abundance. The brand is I can do whatever I choose to do as long as I'm disciplined enough when I'm doing it. The brand is yes. The brand is keep going. The brand is seed into others. The brand is teach, glorify, and give it back to him. And I will always be the brand.
I love you. A few times a month, just come back. Look, it was a pleasure having you. I want you to come back one time if you can for our What Would We Do segment, because I feel like you have a lot of advice you could give. Hopefully one day you could do that. Could you tell us, thank you, could you tell us where to find you and what do you have going on next?
So you can find me on Instagram at Britni The Brand, BRITNITHE BRAND. You can also find my content on YouTube. I've got multiple series for young women, promotional content. So you want to be a butterfly. It's the journey for me. These are all shows you can show your daughters. These are all shows that if you'd like to get some advice, you can go there just for motivational up kick. But also I'll be releasing the Journey Planner by the end of the year, which is a motivational journal for young women. It's an interactive journal where I got testimonials from 30 different women to speak life into other women. And there are blank pages in between so you can write your story. And you can look out for that on my Instagram.
They said we can't spell that fast. Look.
BRITNITHE Brand. Okay.
Man.
It's definitely going to be on YouTube tomorrow, y'all. So y'all be able to go back and watch it. She'll have her own little segment. But I do appreciate you so much. You are a wealth of information, a swath of nurturingness. Yeah, I'm very appreciative of you. And I'm happy we started with you. Not that nobody else on the show, don't take that offense, but it was just like, we needed that.
Thank you. And I know that we all need motivation right now. I know that we all need life spoken over us. So we can always trade into each other. Lawrence, you always do this for me. So I appreciate you for always being there for me, literally never changing a beat. And I will always be here for you. Let me know when you want me back.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And thank you for starting the show off right. Like... We're about to turn up for the rest of the show, but you literally gave solid energy to start. Like, Miss Mama, you is leaving me sweating going into the...
Right.
Look, I will do it anytime. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
We'll see you soon.
No problem. Bye, see y'all.
Yeah. I love her energy. She was a glow.
A glow for sure. Capital GLO.